and there I am.
I don't know if you want to answer this question. I don't know if it's bad or good. But when the first time you were in front of camera, were you nervous?
Oh yes,
Yeah?
I was very nervous. Thankfully, when I started, it was one other person running the camera besides me, and a lot of people don't realize that there are about 5 or 6, I'd say 5 to 7 people that are just there running cameras, running microphones, running the lighting equipment, production assistants. They're just there, and they're not exactly into what's going on, so it is difficult to maintain composure, so to speak, in those situations. So that's why I say it's not for everybody.
Oh, yeah. You're not camera shy at all?
No, not at all.
No.
I never have. Always been kind of a ham for the camera.
Yeah. Okay. I know a lot of people like myself that are kind of shy.
Yeah.
I don't think that'd be a job for me ever.
Yeah.
No, seriously. Do you guys have any questions? Brandon just got here. I don't know if you want to know anything. Or Sarah, if you have any questions.
Sorry, I came late.
Yeah.
I was really walking fast, but so how long have you been doing what you've been doing?
I've been in the filming industry for off and on for this is gonna date me 7 years, starting with amateur stuff and then taking a few years off and then getting back into it. In the professional filming industry, the major filming industry, about a year now, meaning the very high-end, what they call gloss porn, which is the expensive productions with the elaborate sets and everything else. So that's been about a year now. As far as the other part of what I do, as far as escorting, I've been doing that for about 2 years now.
Do you you don't ever use your real name in those things, do you? Or
in filming? No.
Yeah,
No, never use a filming name. Another thing to also bring up is when you're selecting a filming name, be careful with it, because sometimes people use names like mother's maiden name or a family member's last name. There's actually also another porn star that in his own sense of humor, he used his high school bully's name as his porn name. So you want to be careful with it. You want to make it something that is true to who you are and what you believe in, because just like the film, that name is there forever. So yeah, you try to stay away from anything similar. I know a couple of porn stars that use their real first name as their first name and just change their last name, and that's okay for some people. But to me, it was just better just to keep it completely separate and have it something that was not even close to my name or anybody's name that I'm related to.
Thank you for answering my questions.
Right. Did you have any other ones?
We're on the very last segment, so you have
Do you have any questions, Sarah?
Well, any of our viewers.
Oh, really?
Did
you answer?
Yeah.
If any of our viewers have any questions, or you guys want to call,
Don't be shy.
Jackson, you guys can call. At 562-438-3794, and watch on Blog TV, Ustream, live video on YouTube, and comment or question at Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, and WordPress. If you guys have anything, questions on. Sarah, do you have any questions?
I'm thinking. I lost the one I was thinking.
Did you have any more on that card you wanted to ask?
Let me see. Oh yeah. Are you selective with the people you work with?
As far as filming, I can be if I want to be, but generally the directors have a very good knowledge of pairing me with people that are similar in my body type and similar in my age group and also similar in what I'm into, because they want it to look as real and as hot as possible, so to speak. And as far as escorting, yes, I am pretty selective with them. I like to be able to get to know somebody also, see them on a regular basis is great. Then you can develop a rapport, and things are also a lot easier that way. You don't have to answer or ask as much questions. You don't have to worry a lot about safety. As I said, back when I started, I used to text a friend, just send my friend a text message, and he knew that I was in that agreement with him. He knew what I did, and he knew if he saw an address come across his cell phone, he knew that that was me doing that, and I would let him know how many hours or how long I was going to be gone, and I would text him and say safe, All I'd have to do is say safe, and that was it, and then he knew. But yeah, I'm very selective in both the people I meet up with as well as what I do in my professional life and also in my personal life. I tend to keep things at a minimum as far as risk. I try to keep the risk as little as possible, and also just have a good time and make sure that my safety is always my number one priority.
Have you ever been in a situation where you thought that maybe the person you were working with wanted to hurt you, I guess?
I really haven't. Fortunately, I really haven't ran into anything like that, but I know that there have been times when I have been talking with somebody online that I felt like they had malicious actions intended. In other words, they were going to be wanting to potentially harm me, and that was when you always go with your gut instinct, because that's very important. Go with the first thing that you feel. If you feel like you're not going to be safe, then initially, if you feel like you're not going to be safe, then you're probably right. You're probably not wanting to be in that situation, and no amount of money is ever worth sacrificing your safety or your life or your health.
What are some precautions you would tell people to take just in case?
That's a good question too. One of the things that I've always done is, as I said, first off, initially when you are chatting online with them or on the phone, preferably on the phone is always nice too, because then you also have a phone number that they have called you from that can be traced back if anything were to happen. So you have that in the computer somewhere, and wherever cell phone tower they keep all that stuff. You have that security. I try to keep personal belongings, especially initially meeting anybody, both for fun and for any professional level. I try to keep personal belongings away. In other words, I don't walk in there with a wallet with a bunch of money in it, or even my wallet in general. I don't walk in there with a cell phone. I don't walk in there with jewelry on or anything expensive on. Or expensive clothing either. I generally keep things pretty basic, just Levi's, t-shirt, boots. This is basically what I do wear all the time anyway. But I try to keep things that are very plain, that are not going to be flashy, that are not going to be stolen from me. Also go into a situation knowing that where you are, telling somebody where you are, knowing where you're going, how long you're expected to be there is key. And I guess the reason why the reason why I leave my cell phone in the car, some people would say, oh, you should take your cell phone in case something happens to you. Well, if something does happen to you, chances are you're not going to be able to access that cell phone. They're going to take it away from you, or maybe it's going to be in your coat or in your pants in a different room. This way, if you do have to escape, you have your phone away from them. You can use that to call for help. I know with a lot of people like me, my cell phone is my security blanket. So I try to keep that in a safe place. I also keep my keys to my house in my car, and I tend to hide even my keys hide a key to my car so that I can lock everything in there, and I have a way to get back in my car if, for example, I were to have to escape wearing minimal to nothing because I didn't have time to grab clothes. If I have anybody come over to my house, I try to keep valuables out of sight. I try to keep things put away to where they can't get any financial records or any personal information from me, and just try to keep a clean home anyway. And it's just a good practice to keep money, keys out of people's sight so that they're not apt to take them.
Well, that was like our last question. We have to wrap it up now.
No problem.
Thank you again, Jackson Wallace.
Yes.
It was a good interview. Brandon got here late.
I'm sorry.
I have to rub it in his face again. We're at Tenacity of Teen, and next time, I don't know what we're going to talk about. But, yeah. Oh, we broadcast that too. And, yeah.
Every Sunday.
Oh, yeah, every Sunday.
Hopefully next time I'll be on time.
And Karen will be here.
Oh, yeah, I know she wasn't here.
Yeah, so, bye.
Thank you.